All right. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. So once again, thank you so much for joining my webinar. Welcome. Today's webinar will be Top 7 Rookie Social Media Mistakes to Avoid. I am, as the Social Engagement Manager here at AutoLeadStar, I'm very excited to go ahead and go through this with you. Shouldn't be very long, and I will be going over the importance of social media within our industry and everything you should know not to do in order to be successful. So as the social engagement manager here at AutoLeadStar, I interact with dealership social media pages on the regular. All the time, I've seen it all, strong, weak, even the non-existing ones, allowing me to really have the ability to compare and see how this aspect of your dealership's branding, marketing strategy may be improved. And I'm so excited to have the ability to share all with you guys today. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. Now, let's go ahead and give a little bit of context over social media and review some stats so that we can identify why social media is one of the most important moving parts to successful marketing strategy. And then once we begin to understand that, we'll be able to effectively optimize and conquer. So, starting with 40% of car buyers and 35% of service customers use Facebook to read dealership reviews. Dealership reviews are great. They provide a very unbiased opinion of an experience in the dealership and stuff, so they're very important to include on your feed. A quarter of new vehicle purchasers in the United States have used Twitter as an input in their vehicle purchasing decision. That's huge. 25% of people are referring to your Twitter in order to help them decide which vehicle they're going to purchase or where they're going to purchase it from. And then 44% of sales customers and 47% of service customers have also used Twitter to follow a dealership for access to offers and discounts. Not sure about you, but I love me a discount, and we can clearly see here that people are looking at Twitter for this. So, while organic content on Facebook and Twitter may not directly lead to a sale, we can see it's clearly a part of the shopping process for many customers. So it is imperative that we communicate the correct message, keep our branding alive. Maintenance is the only way to do so. So let's go ahead and dive into these 7 mistakes, starting with the fact that everybody makes mistakes. Of course, we're only human. But now that we've identified how important our social presence is, we need to make sure to avoid these next few examples in our everyday routine so that you and I can all become the social media champs we really are. Starting with bad reviews. Not replying to those negative reviews is huge. I know we all don't like those negative Nancy's, but unfortunately, we need to reply. Not only to show that we care, but it's very important because it helps keep our page look active. I honestly think they're the worst. I mean, nobody wants to hear that they're doing a bad job, but again, like I said, take it and run with it. Like I mentioned before, tons of people are referring to our page in order to see these reviews. So we need to make sure they like what they see, whether it's negative or positive. Now here's ways we can go ahead and combat it while we kill them with kindness. All right, so here we see 2 negative reviews. We have one here where they're not responding at all to the negative review, while as over here, let's hope that that was a like on their end. Again, 2 very negative reviews, no sort of reply, nothing was done in order to make sure that these people feel like they were done right by. So me as a car buyer, I would definitely look at this as a red flag. I don't know about you guys. Whereas when we take a look at the next example, we can see 2 great things. They're obviously replying, but this shows you 2 different ways to handle the negative review. On the left side, we can see that the dealership has responded to the customer saying, please reach out to us at said number. While as on the right side, it is being responded to as we will be reaching out to you. Now, there's various ways to handle it. However, I think the best practice would definitely be me going ahead as the dealership, reaching out to the customer that's unhappy. Just, they're already mad. Why make them work anymore, But these are two great examples of how a negative review should be handled. Next, no visuals in your post. So, social media, right? Media. So, a social feed with no posting, no photos, I might as well pick up and read a book, right? Images are one of the most, if not the most important tools you have to catch and keep one's attention. So, a feed without pictures has nothing to give, and especially when we have that 140 character limit. From a dealership's perspective also, cars are really nice to look at. So why wouldn't we include them as our feed? Plus, as you can see here, we have a nice little timer going down. The average attention span of a human being is only 8 seconds, which means we have 7 seconds to capture their attention. Now, over here you can see the social media feed without any photos. So bouncing off this one, off to our next example. Crappy quality, excuse my French, I'm sorry. I just really, really need to emphasize how horrible that can be for your feed. Nobody wants to look at a low quality image. Not only does it speak on behalf of the dealership and their work ethic and stuff, but we really just need to make sure that everything we do, we give 100%. Doing something like this is not a very good way to portray that to your social media visitors. Now followed by slow chat response time. Being that we live in an age of convenience, Facebook Messenger has become huge. Now the thing is, Facebook also shows your response time. Make it attractive. Here you can see one dealership typically takes about a day to respond, while the other responds immediately. Now back to the whole convenience thing, I'm not sure about you, but I would definitely prefer an instant reply versus having to wait an entire day. Facebook Messenger is an excellent tool for this. It said that 73% of customers prefer to speak to a business on Facebook Messenger than over email or phone. I mean, if you think about it, it does make sense. First of all, we are constantly on social media, in a specific case, in this one, Facebook. So if I'm already on a dealership's Facebook page, why would I have to either go all the way to the website or call in to speak with a representative when we have Facebook Messenger as a tool? Followed by this one, irrelevant content. Let's cut out those recipes and DIYs, right? While it's nice to stay away from the norm, keep it to a minimum. If a consumer is referring to your page, they likely have a motive, whether it's interest in your vehicles or your branding. That's why it's important to keep it relevant. You can provide useful content and still be creative in your approach. Plus, our social media feeds are already full of memes, DIY videos, and those funny stories about dogs. So while it's fun and may drive engagement, it's not really necessary. However, we do have the irrelevantly relevant content, if that makes sense. Here, this is very fun content. I mean, I'm sure many of you can relate to the little boy in the car on the left, and I'm not sure about you. Living in Miami, you have to be a great parallel parker, and I'm definitely not good at parallel parking at all. But this is a nice way to have that fluffy content included on your feed, but it's still slightly in context with the feel of the dealership. Two great examples of relevant, fun content to publish while not straying completely off topic. Now, following that, we have infrequent posting. This one's pretty obvious, but it seems worth repeating considering the amount of dealerships that do it. Even with the dreaded Facebook algorithm, it's so important to keep your page looking alive and active. Imagine how a shopper feels when referring to an outdated page. Aside from bored, of course, there's nothing there enticing them with those great discounts we all want or any attractive vehicles. How do you plan on selling them a car when you can't even post to your Facebook page? Followed by robotic content. This has got to be, I definitely saved the best for last because this is the one that just drives me bonkers. At the end of the day, our goal with social media is to have a great and unique presence. Content plays a huge role in it. Now, using generic content in no way sets apart your dealership from the one using the exact same content 10 miles up the street. While it's functional, you're missing that oomph that the customers are looking for during the decision-making process. That, combined with effortless, robotic content lacking color and images, and that human feel, is a recipe for disaster. While it's quick and easy, cutting corners should never come at the expense of your feed. We're taking the fun out of the functional. So a quick recap. Not replying to negative reviews, looks like your page is not active and like you do not care. No visuals in your post. We're looking at a social media feed, not a book, and especially when it comes to combating that 140 character limit. Crappy quality, I don't want to squint. Give me some nice sharp images. Slow chat response time. Being in a world of convenience, let's try to make it always show immediately. Irrelevant content. While it is nice, Facebook already has all of those DIY and the nice lunch recipe videos. So we can have that fluff content, but let's keep it at least slightly relevant to the feel of your page. Infrequent posting. I'd say best practice is to post at least one time a day. Robotic content. As you guys were able to see, I definitely have very strong feelings towards that, but it definitely also takes away from the uniqueness of your page. So again, while mistakes are bound to happen, we are only human. But now that we're aware of how detrimental these mistakes can be for us, there's no reason we should be repeating them. Now, here at Auto Lead Star, we took all of these 7 mistakes into consideration and how easily they could be made. We decided to take it upon ourselves to create a solution to solidify your feeds and simplify your social process. Social AI is designed to help you not only avoid all of these mistakes, but to help you master your day-to-day marketing task. I love being able to share it with you, so I'll be extending a 2-week free trial so that you can see Social AI's power for yourself. To activate the free trial, you'll go to autoleadstar.com/social AI. It's as simple as logging into your Facebook, and you'll have a dashboard for you to play with. Now, I will be opening up the floor for any questions. I have a couple in the panel. If you want to go ahead and input one, just let me know. Or go ahead and input it in the panel, and I'll go ahead and answer. All right, so this was a quick one. The first one I saw actually, so it must have came up at the end of the presentation, is what is Social AI? Social AI is pretty much a dashboard that's going to, again, like I said, save you tons of time by providing you with unique content with content unique to your dealership. It's really nice and it's a quick and easy tool. I can go ahead and send you and everybody an email afterwards with some information on that and the link for a free trial so that you can go ahead and access it yourself. And if you would like, I can also follow up with a call to explain it. Okay, and then the next question is, what is OEM content? Great, so OEM content is content that is provided to dealerships directly from their OEM. Okay, and the last question I'm going to take is, how often should I be posting to my feed? All right, so like I mentioned, best practice should be 1 time a day. I would say you could definitely get away with 2 or 3 times. It just needs to be varied content. So let's say if you're going to post 5 dealership reviews, I would definitely recommend against that. I mean, maybe you could do, 1 dealership review, a funny, not completely irrelevant fluff content, and then a nice inventory post or something like that. But for sure, you should be posting at least 1 time a day. And something I must mention is make sure your content is varied. So those are the only 3 questions I had submitted in the panel. I'll go ahead and let you guys submit any other questions. And if not, that should conclude our presentation. So, all right, got no questions. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining my webinar today. I hope that it was as valuable for you as it has been for me. And there's nothing more I love than sharing all the knowledge that I've gained throughout my entire journey here with Auto Lead Star. And I just appreciate you guys so much. Thank you and have a great afternoon.